Now is a great time for my upstairs neighbor to be vacuuming because I need to review the new Siege Soundwave. Seriously though, vacuuming right now. Alright guys, so let's take a look at the new Transformers War for Cybertron Siege Voyager class Soundwave. Now as you'll see, it's empty, but that's what it is. We're going over the box. Transformers Siege logo. You've got whatever that image is back there. It looks like Kaon, if I had to guess. You've got Generations, Takar Domi, that's the magic words. And you've got Cybertron Soundwave, War for Cybertron S25. Cool. Come over here. You have an image of Soundwave. Looking very cool there. He's got this little electrical dealy happening there. I'm guessing it's his lab. Very nice rendition going on there. And yes, guys, I know that there's a hidden image right there. You can see it in the glow. I don't have a black light to show it, but it's basically showing off his secret mode, which they don't give you any instructions. And apparently there's some kind of code or something on there as well, where it goes across there in like Cybertronian. I don't know. But you've got Voyager class, Classe Voyager, Classe Viajero, and Classe Voyager. So, yay for that. Come to the bottom, and you've got nothing but barcode. Come to this side, and you've got all the rendition of everybody who's going to be in this line. It's pretty cool. And I did see Starscream when I was out. However, it seems to be the one without a pin for the chest. So, not bothering with that at all. But there's a few other things I'll probably get. I don't believe I'll be getting Red Alert or anything like that. But there's a few coming up in this wave and in the next wave that, especially in the deluxes, that I more than likely will get. But I like that this shows Red Alert, but then this shows Sideswipe, but looking far more Red Alertish. And then there's Prowl. I was actually after Prowl and Ironhide today. Either way, so let's look at the back. And come up to here. There we go. And you've got him there in his robot mode. You got him there with a Battle Master. It transforms in 25 easy steps. Well, maybe. Doesn't say easy. I just assumed. Battle Masters. Power effects. And you've got Choose Weapons Loadout and Micromasters. So you get a Micromaster set of our two little tape friends. And unfortunately, I don't have that, and the neighbor's AC unit just stopped working right in the middle of me speaking. So yay for that. You got him here in his really strange spaceship-y mode that, frankly, I'm not going to use. So there's that. And by the way, guys, if you want to see my initial thoughts of this guy out of the box and my initial playing with it, well, frankly, you'd have to be one of my patroneers. So they got a video of this already. Actually, significantly decent long time ago. Actually, they've seen this review much earlier than the rest of you guys. So if you ever wanted to help support the patron or the Patreon, by all means. So let's go ahead and check out the rest of it. And yes, I know that there's a secret thing right here. I go over that in that opening review. Gonna skip it right now. Secret stuff for the patrons. Let's get him out here and see how cool Mr. Tape Deckmaster is. Alright, I had to adjust the lighting a little bit there. But here we have good old Soundwave in his new Siege form. And I know that most of the time I start off in the alternate mode and then go to robot mode. But because this guy sort of has different alt modes, I decided to start out in robot mode first. So here he is in all his blue G1 looking goodness, and he is very G1 inspired, as he's of course supposed to still be on Cybertron, so that's the thing. You got some nice kind of goldish paint going on right here around his tape deck window, Decepticon logo right in the middle, some battle damage and scrapes and breakage happening there. You get some really nice light piped eyes, which they don't look impressive until you cover it up and you go, wow, okay. And that's only the little window right there on the top of his head. So that's pretty cool. It's a nice little figure. He's got some silver paint down here on his buttons. And got some more silver and gold and metallic pink paint down here on whatever the heck those are supposed to be. Completely different color, like metallic orange going on in there, and some leg vents and some black paint going on there. And way too much battle damage happened here on the legs. And on the side of the leg, but of course that becomes a different feature entirely later, so there's that. He does have some dark red paint going on right there on his shoulder-mounted weapon. He's got similar color here, but it looks more pinkish going around his arms. Some more black and silver paint back here on the back thrusters, which, well, they're what they are. He's got a little tiny cockpit on his butt. That's a thing. I like he's covered in texture, like almost on every surface. Nothing is smooth, which bothers me to some degree, but actually looks pretty cool when applied, certainly. He does have some thrusters and or cannons right back here, which of course only really do you any good in alt mode. So that's that. Before we get to articulation and the rest of his stuff, let's go ahead and knock out some comparisons. We'll bring out good old Voyager Megs. He was a bit taller, obviously. Should be, by all means. So now we've got Megs and Soundwave. And technically, I guess he's my second. Well, I have the little bitty other for the Battlemaster guys, but the Micromaster. So he's my second-ish Decepticon. So that's pretty cool. It looks really good next to Megatron. I do need to get Shockwave, just waiting for him to go on sale. And here he is next to Deluxe Sideswipe. Big difference. I mean, I know that he was supposed to be a bigger dude. Just now he makes Sideswipe look tiny. Here he is with the DX9 Sonic Wizard, which, wow, really sort of disappears there. But you can see definitely G1-esque. By all means, even the yellow stuff on the knees. And yeah, like I said, I had to crank my brightness up a little bit. This guy's just very, very dark. So you can see here, the white sort of disappears from him. But the details are there to make a G1 Soundwave. I keep wanting to call him Shockwave. Even the backpack, while done differently, still sort of works. So I'm not even going to complain about that. And if for some reason you need to see this, excuse me, there he is with a big old not leader class, good lord, masterpiece, or MP10, so you can see how big he is compared to that. And I don't have an MP or G1 Soundwave, so we'll just go with Wally for comparison. Now, I know they did a re-release of the G1 Soundwave not long ago, a couple years at least. I don't have one. Maybe someday they'll do it again at Walmart. I don't know, I'll be happy. Still waiting on that re-release Prime to drop in price. Yeah, it is what it is. Now, accessories and stuff. He does have his shoulder cannon, which just looks like this, basically. It's got the little missiles in there. He wants to focus on his face. Our camera doesn't know what to look at. Look at the thing in my hand. So he's got the cannon in there, and a little plug coming out the back, because that's for other things. He does have this handle here that does pop out, which it's not really supposed to do. It does look like it's supposed to pivot, which is what's really strange, but it doesn't move. I mean, I guess if you moved it out a little, you could. It can plug anywhere, but mostly it wants to plug there for accuracy's sake. He does have his other version of the gun. Looks like that. And this bit slides in and out for transformation, and it has a little bitty nub sticking out the back, so you can just boop, pop it out and make it go like that. And once again, you can plug it in anywhere on this guy, because the Siege Wave is very Arms Micron about having ports everywhere that you can use. He does also have a very useless gun that he comes with. Little folding gun for some reason. Does have a nice molded detail. I'm guessing this is supposed to be the barrel, and that's like an under thing, or maybe this is a giant sight, and that's the thing. It does unfold, like so. So you can have it like a long rifle, sort of. Honestly, this is the most useless thing this guy comes with. I don't even understand what the point of this was. And you can make a really dumb long weapon if you really want to. I don't know why you would. So you take this, you plug it in here, and you take this and you plug it in over here. And honestly, if I have that right, I don't honestly care. And if you can hold it, it is what it is. I mean, it's got to be that way because nothing else makes sense, but it doesn't really plug in satisfactorily. So, I mean, that's really stupid. And you could sort of hold it in two hands either way. This thing, totally pointless. It's a really dumb accessory. It's almost like it was meant for somebody else and they just sort of had to find a way to include it with him. So for now, I'm going to leave off the rest of the accessories because well, they're only going to come into play later on once he's transformed. Alright, so let's talk articulation. Head is just on a ball joint, so you can do all the things. Just wiggly waggly. Like so. And my arm is totally in the way of my light. And he, by the way, I missed it. He has some very nice silver face paint. That looks really good. Shoulders are just on kind of rotation swivels. And sort of locking joint there. He can go straight out like so. And go all the way around. Sort of do a high teacher. Since I don't mention high teachers very often anymore. Oh, and here's something cool. His finger is in a nice little crook, like so, because somehow you're supposed to be able to replicate him pushing the button. Although, in reality, his arm can't actually reach that. But because it is a gimmick, it actually does pop open like a tape deck. That's actually awesome. It just has a little thingy here to release it, and it is spring-loaded. That's actually a very cool design. I'm not going to lie. It's better than some of the previous ones we've gotten. But back to the arms. He does have bicep rotation, which is always handy. He does have a double-jointed elbow, which can get it pretty flush if you need it to. Like so. No wrist rotation, I don't think. Nope, solid wrists because they just fold in and out. Though, personally, I feel like they could engineer that if they wanted to. He does have waist rotation. Technically has an ab crunch, but only reverse due to transformation. He does have hip skirts that can flip forward so that he can full on do the splits, like so. And, of course, he can do a perfect Jean-Claude when the hips want to cooperate. So that's that. The thighs have rotation, like so. The knee bends very nicely. Get to pretty much 90 degrees, I'll give it to him. Has almost a reverse knee bend, but that doesn't really happen. And he's got ankle tilt, so he can get a nice stance. I like it. So it's like only up here where it really matters that the thing is cranked all the way to 11. But that's pretty much it for his bot mode. Okay. Alright, let's talk transformations. Let's go ahead and take him to his real alt mode, so to speak. So we want to come back to here. It's a little top heavy. I'm going to go ahead and open up this flap on the back of the leg. Flip open this. Tuck away the foot and close that down. We'll do the same thing over here. Now personally, I like this gimmick. Now you want to turn the legs inward. So there's two tabs right in there, one on either side. And you want the front of the legs facing outward. And you want the side, or the outsides of the legs facing the top of the little cockpit area there. So you just sort of tab those together, like so. Now, I'm going to go ahead and rotate at the waist. Pull the whole backpack. It's on a couple different moving pieces, so you want to pull the whole backpack out. It's on a double hinge here, and you want this to open up, so there's your cavity there, and just bloop, tuck the head away, and then this will tab in back there. Now, you want to pull him apart at the waist. So he has a double hinge here and then a couple tabs that tabbed into there. And we want to flip this up and over the top like so. Then you've got these two big slots right here. And those tabs that were plugged into the bottom will now plug into right there. Oops. Let's rotate that west back. My bad. That's only for the other mode. The other mode. Okay, so for the arms, we want to untab it here from the side of the chest. Kind of straighten those guys out. Now, mind you, this is about as close as I can approximate these things. I want to flip these little landing skids around. I forgot to tuck away the hands, but you may as well do it now. Now you've got these kind of odd-shaped holes here, and you want to line up the posts in the shoulder with that, like so. And you want to turn the outside of the arm inward. So you got this tab here on the forearm. That wants to go inward. So basically you want to do that number so that the fists are facing downward. Basically where you're going to end up. Plug that in. Oop, come on. Plug all that in. And there's a much smoother way to do this, but I'm going by the seat of my pants. And I only tend to rehearse these things ever so slightly before I actually film. Because where's the fun in totally being prepared at all times? Okay. So that's being problematic all of a sudden. Now you want to take these flaps that were on the side of the legs and flip them up. Did I just do a thing without realizing it? Okay. I did a thing without realizing it. So I need to move that up just a little bit. Close these flaps down there. Now put that back where it was. And these will tab in on the thighs. And mine doesn't want to tab in that well. And I messed up the arms while I was doing all that. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. This spaceship mode that he's kind of turning into is not how I'm going to display him. So even when this is over with, he's just not going to be like that. So anyways, bring these guys down ever so slightly at an angle like that. Take your weapons and plug one each on either side. Doesn't honestly matter. And here we go. There is your Soundwave in his spaceship-y alt mode, which is crap. I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, in this mode, you get a little bit more detail here. You can see why he's all beat up on this surface. I do like the fact that here they captured some of that silver that's normally on the outside of his legs and stuff. So there's that. And he does have these nice little landing skids down here like so. And, of course, his weapons are just hanging out where they do. And supposedly you can take this thing, got the big tab right there, and you can plug it into his armpit, kind of, for reasons. I mean, that's not even in a usable position to be a gun. I mean, if you extend it, maybe. Like so. I mean, I don't know. Seems fairly well pointless, but that's his spaceship mode. So, let's do some comparisons, shall we? And we first have Megatron. It was a significantly larger vehicle because tank. But, you know, yeah, see? Just things and stuff and such. And we also have Swiper. Much smaller car. Just spaceship ratio. It is what it is. And frankly, that's all I'm going to compare it to because, well, the other things don't really apply here. You also have Wally. And just a random other Cybertronian vehicle thing from another series entirely. That's either a teaser or a flashback, depending on which order these videos come out. So, yay for that. Okay, so dumb spaceship mode aside, literally, let's take him to his super secret mode, shall we? Let us go. So let's go ahead and leave the weapons in place. We'll just go ahead and chuck these guys right up in there, like that. And whichever order this thing technically comes apart, let's start with the arms. And once again, there's no real instructions for this actually on the box. It just shows the thing. So basically, we want to untab him from there, put him back like he's going to be in robot mode. Turn the legs. Also, make sure you untab those things. Turn the legs so the crotch peg, or crotch pit, now it's become a crotch pit instead of a butt pit. That's, never mind. The rotated so that the butt cockpit area is now facing forward. And we want to pop out his feetsies. Come on, relinquish, thank you. Once again, I really dig this. They actually made a very nice way to tuck things and hide stuff away. It's like, where have you had these skills all this time? Okay, so we want the feet to face inward. Something like that. Do I have those backwards? I think I have those backwards. I might have those backwards. Just looking at it, I was like, that doesn't seem right. So we're mostly there. Now let's just try to figure out what the arms do. Because in some aspects, let's raise up the camera. They want you to fold the arms up under there somehow. So we can do it, I believe. Like, how did I figure? I figured this out earlier, but I forgot how to do it this time. So you can do it like so with that popped up. Honestly, pretty simple, but there's other ways. So you've got these little tabs back here. I'm trying to remember exactly how to make that happen. Was that it? I think that's it. Hold on. Utilizing your double elbow, there's a tiny slot right there that I believe tabs in right to there. It seems far too easy to have not been a coincidence. You can also tilt these guys up forward. Like I said, you got to utilize that double elbow. Come on, get it, get it, get it. There we go. So that's his official, like, Cybertronian lamppost spy mode. I guess realistically, you don't have to have these guys up here if you don't really want to, so that's fine. Pull them off. Why am I talking with that accent? I don't know. But the other thing is you can go a little bit more G1-esque if you want and sort of pull out the arms. And it had it kind of just straight out, if I remember correctly. Like, something like that. I mean, let's hide things. Probably. If I remember correctly, like he legit was standing more or less like that for his original G1 mode. So, yay. I mean, there's your super secret hidden mode. More or less. I mean, it's kind of him just standing there with his head put away and his legs turned backwards. And yes, I know that you can put him in something of a tape deck mode. But if you want to see that, you gotta be a patroneer. Because I did that. I did. So there's your teaser. If you ever want to see that, you can totally be a patroneer. And go check that out. But in the meantime, I'm going to put him back in bot mode so that we can get to final thoughts. Alright guys, so, well, that's going to be it for this review. Soundwave's good. I mean, for about the $30 at Walmart or anywhere else is charging for him, he's actually very good. Though, I will say this, I wish he came with at least one tape. So, I mean, you can buy Ravage and Laserbeak together in a 2-pack, but personally, I would have been happy if he just came with one or the other, and then you got the other guys, like Rumble, Frenzy, or any of those on the side, instead of, well, this garbage. Like this is the most useless accessory, like, period. So give us tapes with him. And by the way, it can only hold one from what I've seen with other reviewers, so you can't like double stack them. But what I'm probably going to do is put Ravage in there and then mount Laserbeak to his arm, because you can do that. Why not? Now, there Now his ship mode is definitely the weakest thing of this whole thing, and technically he's a triple changer. I personally think the lamppost mode is better. If you don't care about having to remove stuff, his tape deck mode is actually kind of cool. I don't know that he can really sit that well in tape deck mode, but hey, it's a thing you can do, and I feel that they engineered in such a way that it was doable on purpose. Like there's not, it's too close to be not on purpose. So there's that. I mean, it is what it is. But as a non G1 type, not an official G1 version of him, he does have the yellow eyes. I kind of wish he had the red eyes, but you know, it just goes with which Soundwave version you want. So, guys, I recommend it. Go pick him up if you can get it even cheaper. By all means, do so. That is one thing about the Siege line. Slightly more expensive, but you get more stuff in some aspects. A little bit smaller than the previous wave to a degree, or previous Voyagers, like just by a little bit. But it would have made sense to get a Shockwave that was this size by himself without all the extra add-on stuff that we don't need for him. But I'm still going to pick him up because I think he looks really, really cool. But guys, if you are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there. Hit that big old thumbs up button right there if you want to like this video for me. And of course, if you want to help support the channel, you can check out the Shoky shirts and the Patreon, all in the description down below. Every little bit absolutely does go to help. And I will see you guys on the next review. And remember, as always, keep on nerding.